How do you actually remove buying pressure? How do you make it feel like it's not a sale? The goal is that you sell the motherfuckers without them even knowing they're getting sold. Now, we're not going to pull any tricks on them. I'm not saying we're sliding contract. They don't know they're in a contract. I'm saying they know damn well what they're signing, but it doesn't feel like a sale. It feels like you guys are just having a conversation, and it feels like this is just the next step. How do we do that? A couple ways. The number one way to do this is a big one, is to do the setup correctly. If you guys do the setup correctly, you are going to avoid a lot of buying pressure because you've overcome the objections when it wasn't time to close. When you talk about objections, when you talk about the things that they're going to say anyway, but you talk about them before the close, it's way different because everybody expects you to come into that last call with your guns loaded, coming in for the hard close because they've been through the car dealer experience, they've been through the vacuum guy, they've been through all that bullshit, they don't like it, they have a negative connotation with it. So when you do the setup correctly, it changes everything. Okay. And that's why I hit so hard on make sure you do the setup correctly. Number two, you got to make it seem like this ain't no big deal, because I know for some of you, this is your first deal and that money means everything, but you cannot let them know that that money means everything. They have to think this is not a big deal to you. They have to think you do this every fucking day. They have to think that this is just what you do. And so the way that you do that is by the things that you say. So let me give you a couple examples of some things you could say. Some of the verbiage that I use is I like to say some things like this. I like to say no harm, no foul. Like, hey, if we end up putting something together, awesome. If not, dude, no problem. No harm, no foul. I also like to say stuff like, whoa, don't get too stressed out, man. I just want to see if this is a fit. That's not a big deal, man. Like we'll figure that out. But like, let's just make sure this is a good fit. And then another thing that I like to say is right when I get on the call, I like to immediately remove buying pressure. And I say something like this. I get on the call, I'm like, hey, great to see you, blah, blah, blah. And I say, look, before we jump into this, I just want to let you know, I hope you are not expecting like some big elaborate spiel from me, because I don't have one. I'm just looking to see if this is a fit. And by doing that, it allows the customer to just go, oh, thank goodness. This, for once, somebody that's just gonna like, just talk to me as a human, even though you know damn well you got a spiel. I love saying that. I get to the beginning of the call. Hey, just so you know, I don't have a big spiel for you. So if that's what you're expecting, I'm going to let you down. Ha, ha, ha. Remove the pressure. Don't be so tense. Don't confuse that with being lazy. Don't confuse that with not being prepared. But guys, it doesn't need to be that big of a deal. And you have to train yourself. You have to learn how to make it not seem like a big deal. As soon as there's that buying pressure, we have to take it off. So I would say, as far as the verbiage goes, one of the biggest things you could say right out the gate is when you get on the call, say, look, just so you know, all I want to do on this call is I want to find out this is a good fit. That's it. I want to find out. And I like to say, I want to find out where you're at today. And I want to find out where you want to be in a year and where you want to be in 5 years. And if I can help you, great. And it's a fit, great. We'll figure something out. If not, no big deal. No harm, no foul. But I don't have a big spiel for you. So I hope that you're not expecting that. Take the buying pressure off. So those are a couple of things. Another thing that I like to do, or that I would suggest that you do from start to finish, but especially on the close, you need to let them know or make them feel as if you don't care. And I don't mean that you don't care that they're successful, but I mean, you don't care if this goes through or not. You don't give a shit, because if it's not them, it's somebody else. Hey man, if we can make this work, awesome. If not, there's 20 other businesses in town. I would love to make this work with you because I think that we have a lot of common interests. I think we have a lot of common goals that overlap, but look, it's not a big deal. You got to make them feel like you don't freaking care. And then kind of in line with all of those is this has to look like, this has to feel like, this has to come across like you do this every single day. If this is your first deal, I understand that's a big ask because you don't, and you're doing it for the first time. And I'm telling you guys, you don't realize it, but you guys are adding unnecessary pressure to these deals. The best salespeople in the world are masters of removing sales pressure. So the game is, how do you take this, the script that works, and how do you make it, how do you go through that script, and how do you successfully get to the end of that script and get the credit card and get the contract without it even seeming like a big deal? It just feels like the next natural step in the process. That literally, guys, is one of the biggest, when I saw one of the biggest jumps in my sales career is when I stopped going into every single house and literally feeling like I got all my armor on and I got my gun loaded and I'm fucking like, you win or I win, and that's it. And there's only one winner and like we're going to war here. And I started going in with taking a deep breath and realizing, look, this This isn't a big deal. I do this every day. If this is a good fit, we're going to do this deal. If not, look, man, I don't care. Even though deep down I fucking cared more than anything because I wanted to win. But if you guys can master this, if you guys can get to the point where you're taking pressure off of the deal and making it just seem like just a regular conversation, you will close more people. They will be happier. They will be more low maintenance, and they will come back again and again and again for deals.